Greetings. We're getting ready for 2025 in another week or so. It's 2 days before Christmas, and Merry Christmas to everyone that's listening tonight and tomorrow and the next day. Now here's the deal. I always wanted to be a singer. I took guitar lessons, paid for them, rode an hour down from Pleasure Ridge Park to Shackleton's Music Center in Louisville on a Greyhound bus, and then paid to come back after either a half an hour or hour lesson. And then I took singing lessons and paid for them. And here's how the final singing lesson went. Jim, you could practice 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, and never come close to someone who is talented in singing. That stopped my singing desire. Well, maybe not the desire, but attempt. I still got 2 guitars in there. Electric one by Chuck Baer, and another one that a 95-year-old friend gave me the other day that's acoustic guitar. Am I okay if I want to become a singer now? You see, my favorite singer was Leonard Cohen, and he had ups and downs and all arounds, and he became a monk. And when he was a monk, he turned his management to a lady that was also a girlfriend, from what I understand, but she was to manage his money that was coming in from all the CDs that were selling, and performances. Let me say that he was so old when he started that no one wanted to sign him to a contract. It took a couple people to persuade a record company to sign them on. If you don't know the songs, I'll name a couple: Hallelujah, Bird on a Wire, Suzanne. I've got about 7 of his books that were written about him. I saw him before he died. Yes, sir. If you go to youtube.com, put my name in, you may come up with my song, not songs, but poems. And what you're going, if you can find me that way, I don't know how I'm really listed at the moment, since I just spur of the moment said this. Put Jim Wortham in, and look for the poem written years ago called A Bum I Met at the Silback Hotel. A bum I met at the Silback Hotel. I'm not going to say anything more. You'll find out who that's about. Going back to Leonard Cohen. I saw him a couple years before he died. I know all about it. I know what he died of. He had cancer, leukemia. He had his disc disintegrating. He wouldn't wouldn't allow his two kids to come into his home a lot of times because he was in so much pain. He did not want them to see it in his eyes. Leonard Cohen, probably one of the best poets, writers, and singers in the world. Well, his manager and girlfriend, while he was gone, trying to get rid of depression and not it wasn't a cult. It was a Buddhist monastery. Stowed all the money. He comes out about 65 years old with no money. He thought he was retired. Now, I mentioned this maybe in the prior tape, but here we go. I'll just tell you how it went. He and a lady decides he needs to make another record, CD, and they get up early, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, before the noise of the city starts, and records a song, a fabulous CD. And it had been about 10 years since he had a CD out. And you won't believe the name of the CD. I didn't. It's called 10 New Songs by Leonard Cohen. That launched him worldwide. He's got millions of dollars in his estate now. Millions, not thousands. Millions. And his son manages the estate. And if you go to Leonard Cohen on YouTube, you won't believe all the wonderful songs you probably have heard, such as Suzanne, Bird on the Wire, Hallelujah, and things like that he came out with. Now, having said that, while he was dying, he wrote his last CD. Well, he'd write poems, switch them over to songs. And I knew something was wrong when I bought that last CD. It was called So You Want It Darker. Lord have mercy. So You Want It Darker. Well, let me stop right now and say I don't have many friends. I just thought of this. I see other people doing it. If you want to subscribe, you'd like my style. Nothing's edited. It's spontaneous. Feel free to hit the subscribe because nobody else is. Well, there's been a few people. Anyhow, having said that, 10 new songs makes them worldwide famous. More famous in other countries than in America. In fact, he had a hard time getting started in America because he was so old when he decided to become a singer. Well, imagine being 65 or 70 and thinking that you're going to make a comeback. with a song, with a CD called 10 New Songs. I looked at that and I bought 2 copies at a Borders bookstore. And I mention that only because that was the start of a revolution of him being booked worldwide, and I saw him in Louisville, Kentucky at the Palace Theater, a 4-hour concert with a half an hour break to buy drinks. Okay, so I'm going to skip around here and say that I've mentioned him several times in other videos, but he was known for 4-hour concerts all of his life once he became famous. Before he became famous, he wouldn't come out on the stage. I think it was Julie Collins grabbed hold of his hand and pulled him on stage and said, "Go ahead, finish that song that you started." He was so shy he didn't even finish the song he started. I think it was Julie Collins that was pushing him to sing, but in front of an audience, but I'm not sure it was her. It was a lady, though. Well, his book all over the world. America was just maybe the least of the ones that were trying to grab him for a concert. If you want to hear him, look at YouTube under Leonard Cohen live in London. I'm talking about London, England. Leonard Cohen live in London. Last time I looked, it was still on there. But also just put Leonard Cohen on the search bar and you'll be seeing everything from when he first started to when he ended. And I hate to say it, but I think that he was recording stuff when he died that was put on later. Now, I knew something was wrong when I got his last album called So You Want It Darker. Now, I didn't know anything about his health. He kept it secret. But what would you think of the title, So You Want It Darker? Would you think that the person that wrote that and sang that was in his home dying? Would that occur to you that he didn't think he would finish that CD? I wondered that when I heard it. I listened to it over and over. So You Want It Darker. Wow. Okay, like I said, I've gone 14 minutes and just talked about Leonard Cohen, but I think it's worthwhile that anybody that loves music, poetry, and novels take a look at Leonard Cohen, Cohen. You know how to spell Leonard. And I want to say that he was one of the more gentle singers I've ever seen in concert. When I mean gentle, polite, 4 encores, maybe 5 or 6. And he was dying at that very time from leukemia. and his back disc were disintegrating. The reason he finished the concert, and maybe a couple others on that tour, but the reason I kept looking to see when I could see him again, well, I read a book about a guy that was his friend for 40 years, I think. And he was in so much pain. They talk about every day or two. He was in so much pain. They couldn't give him enough pain medicine to kill the pain of his back and the leukemia. So, wanted to share that. This was not about Leonard Cohen, but I think I'm going to make it about Leonard Cohen on the title. When I have to put what this is about. He probably had the most intellectual insight, and he put it into the songs. And that's why he was famous over the world. I gotta tell you a funny thing before we hang up, okay? I watched all the interviews. You can watch them on YouTube. Interviews by guys and women in other countries and this country, you know. You'll love this. Leonard, where do you get all your great song ideas? And he says, I'm glad you asked that question. Because if I knew where I got all the good ideas, I'd go there more often. I'd go there more often if I knew where I got the good songs. Having said that, I want to say Merry Christmas. Thanks for tuning in. And if you like this, you can hit the like button. If you don't like it, you can hit the hate button. And have a good one.